We are live. All right. What's up, guys? Today we are playing some MTG Arena. You know, we have Modern Horizons 3. We're in the middle of spoiler season, or actually on the tail end of spoiler season now. And I've decided, let's just play some Arena. We're going to play Timeless because I kind of want to do this before and after look at what the Timeless metagame looks like. Because MTG Arena is getting Modern Horizons 3, and that's probably going to have a pretty big shakeup on the format. So we are going to play some Timeless now. We are going to let Modern Horizons 3 come out, and then we're going to play some Timeless then, and we're going to get to compare them. So today we're going to be playing Timeless. We have two different decks. We have Rakdos Burn, which was a little bit more meta. It's kind of fallen out a little bit just based on the decks that are in the format. And we have Timeless Phoenix, which I built Izzet Phoenix back when it was in Standard, and it has been good in every format on Arena pretty much the whole time. Now, while we load into this first game, I'm going to send out messages to Discord and Twitter, X, whatever, and all of that. But we can jump in. We're going to start with a burn game because it's a lot more, I don't know, it doesn't require as much brain power while I'm sending out tweets and stuff. So let's just jump into this. Okay, so not terrible. The Dragon Skull feels weird. But I think we just turn one Dragon Rage. BS disconnected. Uh-oh. Internet go out there for a second. That's so fun. I think we're back. All right, let me make sure everything's back. All right. We love this. All right, we might have to restart Arena. Let's get Arena restarted because that was fun. And I literally opened Twitter and it was like, nope, your internet does not work anymore. That was fun. All right. Now, hopefully that has been resolved. I have no audio. There we go. There's my audio. We can also unplug headphones, and let's actually jump into this. All right. Oh, okay. Well, I just skipped my first turn. If I can still win this, skipping my first turn. Oh, and it discarded a Monastery Swift Spear. That is honestly tragic. Okay. Okay, they know we have that. So I think we're actually just going to, because they'll hold up removal for it anyway. We might as well do this now. I'm assuming we get play with fire, lightning bolt, something. It's not orcish, which is good. Lightning bolt face instead of Ragavan. That's interesting. I mean, we really can't do anything to stop. Like, we can swing into Dragon Rage. We have no way of getting rid of Dragon Rage right now. But I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to just swing in. We'll let him trade. Oh, my gosh. I feel like the #1 rule of this is don't let Ragavan hit you. Because then stuff like that happens. Like, I just lightning bolted it off the top. And we're just going to actually wait on this. Yeah. Oh, there we go. There's the Searing Blood, or the removal spell we were kind of expecting. We can just kind of throw out some Dragon Rages. I think what we're going to do is we're going to hold the Bowmasters. If he swings with Etching, we'll hit it with the 1 damage and block with the 1/1. Actually, no, we don't really care about Etchings here. Yeah, I think we just hold the Orcish, and then if he plays like Ragavan or something. Okay, let's save ourselves the damage. Yeah, we'll save ourselves the damage. So Modern Horizons 3, I believe next week is pre-release. Next Wednesday is, I believe, June 5th, is the early access streamer event, which I have not I've not talked about, but I will be provided with a early access account from Wizards of the Coast free of charge. Have to say that part. Yeah, they are sending me an early access account. So next week's MTGRecon Live will actually be on Wednesday and potentially Friday, but we'll get into that later. It'll actually be Wednesday. So that's kind of cool. We will get to kind of do this a little early. That was a misplay. I don't know why I did that. Let me reframe that. Either way, exciting news. Next week, MTGRecon will not be Thursday at 8. It will be Wednesday at some time. I have not decided that or figured that out yet. And so we'll be doing some MTG Arena there won't be any MTG Online on that stream. And yeah, so we'll be doing, I think, Timeless there too. But that will be less of the meta and more just messing around with new decks, new cards, stuff like that. Hello, Eddie. So yeah, that's the exciting news, is that next week, early access provided by Wizards of the Coast. Thank you, Wizards, for the free early access. So that's pretty cool. Okay, I feel like I've been off my game this game. Let's just kill this. I'm tired of it. We want Lightning Bolt. I don't care. The bright side here is that they are running out of cards. So that's exciting. The downside here is we are at 5 life against mono red, and we just got dealt 4 damage. Ardent Etchings is going to come online next turn, so we do have to hold up a blocker for that. Luckily, we have some really great blockers in the form of Dragon Rage Chandlers, because those will be 3/3s. We don't really have to worry about removal, because any removal will also just be face removal. So basically, if the card in their hand is a burn spell, we lose. If it's not, we win. Unfortunately, it is. I will say that's not too bad for having missed our first turn. We were actually 1 turn off, and if we would have just started without the DC at the beginning, we would have gotten that 1 damage on turn 1 with Monastery Swift Spear, and that would have actually just been the difference. So unfortunate. Also, let's reroll that. Come on, black or red. Oh, that is so beautiful. Either way, let's jump into another game, hopefully actually getting to play every turn this time. So yeah, that was exciting. Announcement 1 is that, this is a weekly thing. Unfortunately, the 3rd week of doing MTGRecon Live, it will be on a different time. But yeah, we'll be doing that. If you guys have any cards or decks that look interesting, either leave them in chat here, and I can mess with putting them in decks and stuff to play next week, or you can leave it on the community post, because I'll be announcing it on my community post here very shortly. I didn't want to announce it before this stream, because I didn't want any confusion with the multiple streams, and sometimes YouTube's weird about that. Ooh, this is a weird hand. I just love Ragavan so much. I think we're going to just turn 1 Dragon Rage, dash out Ragavan next turn. And I think that'll be the play. Let's see. We have blue-white fetches, Luris, probably removal. Oh, Ragavan's probably gone. Or we just win. We take those. Yeah. All right. And then, yeah, but to finish answering the question that I started a while ago, I'm now realizing I'm all over the place. MH3, early access should be next Wednesday. Pre-release should be that Friday, and then official release will be the week after. We then go to Assassin's Creed pretty quickly after that, and then Bloomborough pretty quickly after that. So we're kind of in this very quick run of sets, but I'm very excited. Last year, Modern Horizons 3 was the set I was most anticipated for. It is a set that rotates Modern. There are a lot of issues with it. I am not trying to deny that in any way, but the set is also incredibly fun a lot of the time. The draft experience is really fun. you know, they do create a lot of cards for Commander that are very good, which is both good and bad because obviously there's cards that just become must runs. I'm going to jinx it and say it doesn't seem like there's anything too bad from MH3. Like, there's good cards. Don't get me wrong. There are cards that are insanely powerful, but nothing screams Hogak or Fury so far. I could totally be misjudging it, but it feels powerful, but not necessarily broken. And I'm going to see this. Like, this is going to be a VOD on my channel. And I know that I'm going to go back to it in a year or in 3 months or in a month or whatever it is. And I'm going to realize just how wrong I was. And, of course, show and tell. Let's throw out Bowmasters in case they have any, like, card draw things they want to do. We probably just lose this, but there's a chance. But yeah, are there any cards you guys think are like busted from Modern Horizons 3? Because it really doesn't seem too crazy. Also, we know we got lucky when they cast Omniscience with Omniscience. Hey, that's 3 cards drawn. Let's just hope they can't win this turn. Let's see. Is this good game? I have been in this situation and won. Assemble the team makes it very unlikely. Leyline of Sanctity makes it even less likely. You know, we're just going to concede and move on. So. Yep. All right. Let's do another. Or maybe we'll switch to Phoenix now that I feel like. I don't know. I found whenever I'm streaming, my brain doesn't always work right away, and I need a little bit of time to warm up and get back to used to playing Magic. But I think we can do some Phoenix gameplay. So let's do that. But yeah. In terms of the rest of the year, like I was saying, we have Assassin's Creed coming up, and then Bloomburrow, and then Duskmorn. I think Duskmorn, that's what it's called? Yeah. And I think the rest of this year looks really exciting. I think Bloomburrow and Duskmorn are very interesting looking standard sets, and I think Bloomburrow will be one of our first, like, quote-unquote traditional sets that we've gotten in a little bit. I feel like a lot of our sets recently have been very gimmicky. I mean, Modern Horizons 3 feels kind of like a traditional Magic set, at least in its, like, it feels like another Dominaria visit in kind of a way, where, like, Thunder Junction definitely felt like something, we'll call it unique. And I like Thunder Junction. Do not get me wrong. Thunder Junction I loved the gameplay. I loved the reprints. A lot of the new cards were really fun, but it didn't necessarily feel like that much of a Magic, like a traditional Magic set, which again is fine. If every set was a traditional Magic set, I would get bored of traditional Magic sets. But, yeah. Let's shock this in, and we can kind of just be reactive. Yeah. All right, so this is the typical, like, mill deck. Ugh. So I really don't like it. I love Timeless. I keep saying I love things. Timeless is really fun. Modern Horizons 3 seems really fun. I try to have fun with Magic. As I think I try to come across in my content is that, like, let's just focus on the fun things about Magic, even if there are things that aren't necessarily the best. We can get rid of that for now. I mean, I don't have a way to get rid of them right now other than that. Which we're not even going to get to that. Okay. Ledger Shredder out is a nice blocker for the Narcom this thing. Oh, and then I need to still do good old Instagram. I kind of forgot about Instagram today. Ledger Shredder, we can go into a Consider. We're really hoping for a... Oh, do I want that? I can just get rid of... No, we can toss it. We always want to toss here. We can Faithless Loot. I'm not feeling the Treasure Cruise right now. And then We have to discard 2. We can discard Island and Consider. Yeah, and then I would like to... There's no point in trying to hit our 3 if we're not dumping things into the graveyard. So let's swing for 2. We got to get some amount of our tempo back. All right. Yep, they're going to cast something from their graveyard, copy it, cast the copy. What are they casting? Otherworldly Gaze. Not much I can do about it because they can pay the 2. I really just... Creeping Chill, I don't know why. I just really do not like the card. It feels bad every single time. Yay! Ah. Bloodghast. Huh. That is kind of cool. Okay. Come on. Arclight. Yes! It's exactly what we want to see. All right, we need to kind of get this game plan going here. Let's put the bauble. We don't really want it or that on top, and we can do that. All right. Let's consider dumping that, drawing that. Okay, we can hope for 2 Arclights right off the top. We don't need 2 Spell Pierces. We don't even need the Mishra's Bauble. We don't need... I'm just gonna dump the Spell Pierce. It's getting too late in the game. I don't really want it. Is there a great way? Creeping Chill. Yeah, everything just kind of comes back. It's not necessarily what we want to deal with right now, but we can just Lightning Bolt the Prized Amalgam. I think it's worth casting the Curate Consider here because, oh, dang. I was like, there's a chance we get Arclight off of it. There's another Arclight. We do this, right? They're going to swing for 5/7. We could get Creeping Chilled, but I don't think we're going to... If we double Creeping Chilled, we die. Whatever. We need this. They also may keep up the Narco MOBA. This thing. They may keep it up. Nope, they don't. Yeah, we are 2 Creeping Chills off death. Meaning they're hoping to draw 3 or more cards. Okay. Okay, 12. 12 is doable. Faithless is really good here. So we can drop that and that. We can double Unholy Heat. Yeah. I'd rather be waiting to do this, but like... This leaves us not dead. Leaves them at 1 life, which feels really bad. And I do think I'm actually going to leave an Arclight up because I think the difference isn't worth it. Like, yes, it means they couldn't have cracked a fetch land or whatever, but the odds of them hitting a Creeping Chill here are kind of high, and this leaves us alive even in the event of a Creeping Chill. We just need there to not be a Creeping Chill and the Bloodghast coming. Or do they come back tapped? No. So that's a little rough. But whatever. No Creeping Chill. That is huge. Now, there's a lot of other things that could go wrong. They could reanimate this out of their graveyard with that 1 Saga. They could Otherworldly Gaze. We can do that. There are... Okay. The blocker was good, but if they have a land, we're dead. Oh, the Flyer's very bad. Okay, yeah. Playing it slow. We need something that I don't think exists in this deck. This is so sad. Oh, we even got the Phoenix. Yeah. All right. Swing with the team. Unlucky. All right. And we go next. All right. Bottom of plat. I mean, losing doesn't really matter in this exact spot because we're at bottom of plat. We really can't go any lower. But let's see. Oh, yes, Instagram. I mentioned this earlier and decided to do nothing about it. Here we go. We get the picture of me being like, hey, I'm live playing Timeless on Arena. Link in bio. Exclamation mark. Okay, perfect. This hand though, on the other hand, is a little rough, but I feel like Ledger Shredder makes any hand better. So. All right. Sorry about that. Oh, Dark Ritual Necropotence. Oh, Sorin. Oh, into Bane Ripper. I know this is lame, but we're at the bottom of plat, and I just don't want to deal with that. All right. I think I mentioned this last week, but this stream is partly an excuse for me to actually spend time playing Arena, because I found that I just don't play that much Arena ranked at least anymore. I play Brawl, just do my dailies, and it's fun, but I really want to get back into doing ranked. So far, went from bronze to plat in a week, so that's exciting. Or silver. I think I was actually silver. So now we do the push. I mean, the season ends tomorrow, or tomorrow's the last day of the season. So we'll be back down again, but next month we're hitting Mythic. I've also been avoiding crafting new decks and cards and things because MH3 is going to change Timeless, and Timeless is my favorite way to play. If Sculling Tarn wasn't my only source of blue, this would be so good. Oh. Faithless. I don't... We're basically starting this game with 6 cards in hand, which feels really bad. And is exactly why I'm discarding the draw spell. No. But... shock that in. Now, do we go Dragon Rage and hope for a land? Yeah, we do go Dragon Rage and hope for a land. We're more likely because we'll get the Surveil and then the Faithless Looting and then... Yo. Interessante. It's crazy to me how much, like, how different Timeless feels, even just based on little things like Mishra's Bauble. Like, I know Mishra's Bauble isn't a little thing, it's a very good card, but it's just like, oh. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't played Historic. Historic used to be my favorite format, and then Timeless came out, and I'm like, whoa, this is just more fun Historic. We get to play really broken cards, and it's really fun. I don't really love that this person knows everything I'm doing. I do the lands, so we'll play the Ledger Shredder. We can Faithless Loot, hope to get a land and a Phoenix, discard the Phoenix and something. I don't know. Discard the Phoenix and whatever card I draw, and then We can Phoenix next turn. There's a chance we Lightning Bolt face. He does need to play a creature for that to happen. I don't know. If there's a will, there's a way. All right. I think we do. Okay, that is part one of the plan. Now we just need a land. Though none of those are lands, but it is still... The dream is still possible because of this Faithless Looting. We need a land that enters untapped. That is so exciting. Let's get rid of the Unholy Heat. Oh my gosh, the dream is like so alive and well, it's not even funny. We get rid of the stupid Deathrite. I believe that was my third spell for the turn. We get the 2 Phoenixes back, and we do the Is It Phoenix thing and swing. Leaving it 4 life and no cards in our hand. That's exactly how I like to see it. Now, they concede. GG's. So what we like to see. Yeah. Phoenix is a deck that I feel like has just always been good. I hope to continue to see it be good. Although it's weird because it's like, I think it's pretty good in Timeless. I don't know where it actually falls in like the meta. But, you know, Modern has like Murktide, and that's, you know, Phoenix really isn't run there. It's mostly Murktide and Subtlety and stuff. And we are getting all the Evoke Elementals, which is good, or which will make Timeless even more differentiated from Historic. They said they're pre-banning less than 20 cards in Historic, so there's not that big of a difference between Timeless and Historic, but I mean, 18 cards can be huge, especially if they're like the Evoke Elementals or anything like that. This is like keeping a random hand. Sure. Well, you know what they say. You gotta bolt the Ragavan. Except in this case, we are unholy heating the Ragavan. I don't know. To me, getting hit by Ragavan is the equivalence of losing the game, and I strive to never get hit by it. Oh my gosh, James. I hope it went well. And I'm glad I could make your day. That is... You know, I wasn't sure how many people would show up to streams, and I am just glad that there are people out there who can enjoy them. Ugh, Orcish Bowmasters. We're going to just bolt that. Faithless Looting. Sure, Faithless is good. Mishra's is also good. Let's take a look at kind of what we're dealing with here. Cavern, that doesn't really tell me anything, except this person has amazing lands. I love these. I considered, I have a Joda deck, like the one that makes anything cost Wooburg, and I really considered buying a playset of all of the shocks in this style. But it was like, I already have all 10 of the shocks in the deck, and some of them are fancy, and it would be kind of cool to get them to be all uniform, but oh my gosh, are they expensive. Yeah. It's unfortunate that Ledger Shredder is going to be our second spell this turn. Kind of is a good blocker here. It can block any other creatures, not necessarily like profitably, but it does it, you know, nothing on their board kills it. There you go, there's something on their board that kills it. Oh, this is probably just GG's. Yeah, that's really just GG's. Okay, let us continue. At some point, we are probably going to switch to Magic Online. Just doing some Modern or something. Commander, Vintage, Legacy, something. But I've been really vibing with Timeless, and I am excited to see kind of what's going on now. So probably doing Arena for a little while longer. Let's see. I really don't like the single tap land. That just feels really bad. This feels better. I think we just ditch the... As much as it's going to feel bad, I think we just ditched the Riverglide pathway. Yeah, this is going to... It's going to be kind of rough, kind of taking this first turn off, but the Surveil one could be huge. And it has the land type, so the Sulphur Falls will come in untapped. Next turn, though, we Dragon Ray. Oh my gosh. The Surveil one. I run exactly one Thundering Falls in this deck. And it getting the one, or not the one of the 4 Arclights is wild. Looks like we're going against just like mono red aggro. Let's 3 or more sorceries, but we can do Dragon Rage now. We can Mishra's Bauble to Surveil. We can see if we want that card. We don't. We can throw that in the graveyard. That'll be another card type. Then we can Faithless Loot. Or Faithlessly Loot. Questing Druid, okay. I do kind of want this to be able to survive like a Play with Fire. So as much as I don't love doing this, this will let us set up our next turn pretty well. I don't want to reveal that we have 2 Arclights ready to kind of go. Oh, that's unfortunate. No, we should keep that. Let's put this and this on top. We can put that on there. Because we're going to draw into Brainstorm. It doesn't matter. We're going to draw into both of them pretty much no matter what. But yeah. Also, another kind of interesting announcement here. Expect some stream improvements. I know the stream is going to be almost exactly like the last one. Kind of just me in this corner over here with the fake invisible background, playing Arena and online in that. But expect some I might appear in a little window, and we're probably going to add chat to the screen, and we're going to have alerts and fun stuff. I kind of wanted this to naturally have some progression and kind of just see how it goes. So expect some changes there. I'm also experimenting with kind of some other fun features. And hopefully you'll get to see those soon. That includes some stuff for members. But again, I will kind of talk about that later. In case people aren't aware, I do have a members thing. I don't expect anyone to use it unless you really want to help support me, but you do get some fun, you get videos as soon as I upload them, which is not always that early compared to when they go out. Sometimes it's 2 hours before. Sometimes it's an hour before. Sometimes it's midnight the night before. But yeah, there's kind of some fun perks. Every Monday's Member Monday. I do kind of something there. But let's get rid of Soulscar Mage. We get the 2 Arclights back. We finally get to have some of our aggression. Because of the Lightning Bolt, they don't know it. They're on a 2-turn clock. Then again, they have a pretty intense board state here, especially with the Monastery and the Questing Druid probably coming down here soon. Yeah. in case any of you missed the announcement from earlier next week, not this time, unlike normal. It'll be Wednesday at a different time. I'm doing an early access stream for MH3 on Arena, so I hope to see all of you guys there. It'll be fun. We'll get to try out some new cards, some new decks. I'm hoping to maybe pull some suggestions from chat as well. So if you have any ideas now that you want me to prep decks for, even then, I'm expecting it to be a pretty long stream, unless something changes. Okay, so this is 6. If we could just get 2 more damage. This might be the wrong move, but let's exile my graveyard, paying a blue to draw a bunch of cards. None of those were the cards we wanted. We're at 2 life. We have almost lethal on them. Let's consider. Alright. Then we are going to hold this up and hold up Lightning Bolt. We're going to go into survival mode here. I'm expecting just death to the face. Let's just block both of these. But we do have the Lightning Bolt in case they try to, Audacity it, right? We saw that. That's fine by me. I'm a little scared here. Oh, yes. Shock. Do that. Do it. Break that. I'm only 1 off. Oh. Oh, that hurts. Okay. This has not been going well. Okay. Let's do that again. And hopefully this time it goes a little bit better. So we really need to ensure we have a hand here that is going to get a Phoenix out pretty quick or is very control-y. Those are kind of our 2 goals. If we can kind of control the board, oftentimes we can kind of stall out red decks and stuff like that. We have an Ugin avatar. Let's see. How much can we figure out? Oh, but these sleeves tell me this is probably mono red aggro. But this hand tells me that we have a pretty good hand. We're going to just Scalding Tarn. We can go get the Surveil land if we don't need to use any mana. If we need mana, we can do some other stuff. All right. Let's go get the Surveil land. Yeah, these Surveil lands are crazy. They're like the absolute best part of Modern Horizons. Or not Modern Horizons. Oh my gosh. Murders at Karlov Manor. You can tell where my brain has been. That's on the... I almost said Murders at Karlov Manor hype train. Oh my gosh. The Modern Horizons 3 hype train. Let's... Apparently, my most anticipated set of the year and the set that most people consider the most disappointing set of the year are just getting cross-wired. It always happens. Whenever I'm filming like my shorts, I'll be like, here are the top 3 most expensive cards from Murders at Karlov Manor or whatever. But I'll for a very long time after the previous set still call it like that. So like when I started doing coverage for Modern Horizons 3, it was like, here are 3 Fallout Modern Horizons 3 cards, or here are 3 cards from the Fallout Magic set. And it's like, no, that's not it anymore. Oh my gosh, the island in hand is huge. Absolutely huge. We also don't really have anything to do with Unholy Heat here because they don't have a lot of creatures. I think we are going to drop an Unholy Heat as much as that feels bad. I think the Brainstorm is going to be better, and Treasure Cruise will keep us in this game longer if we need to. All right. Let us Brainstorm. Dumping Arclight on top, and so we're gonna play Dragon Rage. We need 2 spells. So then we're gonna dump that and Unholy Heat. We want the Arclight on top, because then what we're gonna do is we're gonna play Dragon Rage. We are going to Lightning Bolt them in the face, and with the Surveil, we're gonna drop the Arclight. And then we are going to Brainstorm. Actually, if I was smart, I would have Brainstormed first, but whatever. It didn't end up mattering. Cool. Let's throw... We don't really need Unholy Heat or land. Actually, we'll just throw both of these on top. We'll do that order. All right, we go to combat. We get our 2 Arclights, and we have the activated Dragon Rage for next turn. Mixed with Lightning Bolt, we have lethal next turn, unless our opponent has some crazy thing. They're at, what, 5 mana? 5 mana and Timeless, you can do anything. But... Yep. Well, that's fun. The lifelink there really sucked. Nope. Let's just, you know, go to town on my graveyard, I guess. We need to draw a miracle, honestly. We need to draw... We have 9. That gives them down to 8. I mean, I think we could survive. No, because Ledger Shredder. Oh, yeah, we could survive. We're not going to necessarily be thriving. Oh, wait, but Trample. No, we can't survive. Because, yeah, we would have to do, like, this. Oh, there's not even enough card types anymore in my graveyard. Okay, whatever. Okay. Let us maybe switch it up. Let's go to Burn. Okay, actually, let's open 2 packs because that's always fun. Did I have anything else? Or was it just 2 packs? Okay. Let's do March of the Machine. I'm hoping for Ragavan. Actually, I own 4 Ragavans. I will not be pulling Ragavan. I just want the style, the variant for Ragavan because I crafted all 4. I didn't open one from a pack. And then we have Thunder Junction with Tiny Bones. That's huge. Unlicensed Hearse. That's fine. All right. Let's switch it up to some Timeless Burn. Also, what is happening? Okay. Let's reposition myself there. Okay. Let's get into this. We just want a good old fast hand. This feels good. Stream health good. Yes, it is. That's exciting. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for the kind words. I will... Okay. Sorry. Got majorly distracted there. What did they just make me discard? Dragon Rage? Ooh, that's rough. Luckily, we have this thing called Monastery Swift Spear. And then next turn, we have Lightning Bolt bump in the Night, assuming nothing major is played. That is tragic, but we can always Orcish. And I think we're just going to do that now before they can respond and make Dragon Rage bigger in response to something. They already know I have it. They're going to play around it anyway. So they have another Dragon Rage. Now they don't know I have the second Bowmasters, but they now have a 3/3, which is not great, at least for us. Oh, that's so sad. Let's do absolutely nothing but swing with this 1/1. Because if they block, we can deal a damage and make this thing a 2/2 and get rid of their Dragon Rage. And then we have a lot of cards in hand and they do not. I think we're just going to let it through, if I was guessing. Yup. We might as well Orcish to get the extra damage through. And we'll also get to ping. It'll bring him down to 9. You know, I feel like I've been losing this game, and then I look and it's like I have more cards in hand and way more life. I'm going to have slightly more, or slightly less, way more life, but we are going to have a Kumano, who, if we draw like a Ragavan to dash out, then becomes a 3/2, which is good. Actually, this has to attack, so next turn, unless they play a creature or kill something, we have 3, and then we have lethal next turn unless they play a creature. Because they have to swing with this. Interesting choice. Ragavan away. Oh, okay. They have to swing. What do we get here? We get Dragon Rage. I'm actually so fine with this. Enters with a counter. So our Dragon Rage will be bigger when we finally have enough to activate it. Oh. Ugh. I have no way of drawing this turn, but it does kind of guarantee me the game, assuming I don't die. So this might be the wrong move, and then I'm going to wait on the Lightning Bolt to make Death Shadow not bigger. Because we can throw literally everything in front of Death Shadow, and we have lethal with Lightning Bolt, play with fire. And we have this 2/2 coming if we really need it. So this card better be amazing. I guess, yeah, they can't see the lethal because they can block 2. No, they see lethal on board because Kumano, except they may not be accounting for Kumano. Because I could just swing. And we're actually going to do that because if they have an answer, we have the win at instant speed. Because the most they can block is 2. I think there's a very solid... I don't know if Arena will ever get Commander, true Commander with every single card that's legal in the actual format. But I do think there is a very, very solid chance that Arena ends up with a 4-player brawl. Okay, congratulations, you get your swamp. Yeah, in a recent investor meeting, they actually said they're focusing on the social aspect of Arena more. So it wouldn't shock me at all if we see 4-player mode. Probably not this year. I feel like we would have heard about it, but they also may have learned from when they announced that Arena was coming to macOS, and then they had to delay it a bunch of times. So they may be waiting until they can actually launch it. Player drafts, right? When Arena first launched, they didn't have player drafts. So back in guilds when it like officially launched and it was in beta during like Amonkhet, it did not have player drafts. You could only draft against bots. Actually, when I think it first came out, it didn't have any form of draft, but don't quote me on that. I didn't play the closed beta. I only played the open beta. Then it came out of open beta. And then in Ikoria, they were like, hey, we're adding player drafting. And it was kind of just there. But then they promised it was coming to Mac. And that took probably like a year and a half, 2 years. And so it was a lot longer than people expected. And then they announced it was coming to mobile. And that also took a lot longer. And then when it did come out, it only came out on certain devices like iPads right away or something like that. Or no, iPads came later. I don't know. It was kind of a mess. And it wouldn't shock me if they want to get all the details finalized. I will say it's been a kind of long time since we've gotten features on Arena, because in my mind there's two kind of updates. There's the updates that are cards, and then there are the updates that are like features. And like favoriting lands is a feature, and we recently got the stuff where you can like import decks with names. That's a feature. It's a very small feature, but it is a feature. And so we haven't gotten a lot of features, and there's two reasons I think for that potentially. It's either that they just most of their development time has to go towards implementing new cards, because we are getting more and more sets, and we get alchemy sets, and we're getting Pioneer Masters at the end of this year, or whenever this year. I think they said the end of this year. I don't know. Pioneer Masters was also promised years ago, and it never came out. And now, sometime by the end of this year, we should be seeing it, which will be good. But is it because they're all focused on that, or is it because they're working on something that's really big behind the scenes that is going to come out? And I'm really hoping it's option B, because I think just adding cards is not necessarily sustainable. I'd love to see more features, kind of like player drafting and 4-player, and I don't necessarily want like chat, but. Yeah, non-1v1, I think it'd be so fun, like two-headed giant, like there are so many fun things, like even, I know like, if you could just do more than 2 people, there are a lot of fun formats you can do, and I know people aren't the biggest fan of arena-only cards, but I think people aren't the biggest fan of arena-only cards invading the formats they like, I think is kind of where people have issue. And actually, a lot of the complaining I've seen has gone away since Explorer has become a thing, and there's a spot to play all of the just no digital only cards, Explorer and Standard. I don't know. I think you could do some fun things with Arena and multiplayer and all of that. But maybe that's a hot take. Oh, yes. Feels like a really slow game. Like, really slow. Okay. That was a very long time to think about what they're going to do. And First Blood. Unless they counter this ability in Mono Black. So far, seems like a real fun deck to go against. We at least have the 1/1, so that's exciting. I think they have a response. And the nice thing is now I have this 1/1 to sacrifice, except it says non-token, so never mind. I'm lying through my teeth. I think getting creatures to stick is going to be rough. So I think we are going to take every opportunity we have to get damage through. I say that as I don't cast Skewer there. Okay. Ranked play, I believe, has been a thing since I started playing. it was a little bit different in the fact that when I started playing, you pretty much played standard or draft. When Arena launched, it was standard, like, into open beta. And when open beta was the first time you could just, like, go to the website and download it before you had to be invited. So when it was in open beta, it launched, and there was standard, which was just play and standard, and sealed and draft. And then basically what happened is they got to their first rotation, and they're like, oh, these cards aren't worth anything. So, like, in paper, you can sell your cards or play older formats, and there wasn't an older format. So they had, like, an extended standard for a couple months, I believe, and then they launched Historic, which Historic, in my opinion, had one of the biggest blunders that I've seen in a while. When they launched it, they were like, hey, if you're crafting a card that's not in standard, it'll take 2 wild cards, which was wild. Like, why this card is useful in half as many formats, but it takes double the wild cards, which was a little ridiculous. But eventually they rolled that back, and it became standard and Historic. And Historic had a ranked queue, but they, instead of making them 2 different ranks, they made them the same rank. Then they also had Brawl at some point. I believe that was with Throne of Eldraine. Brawl was the next format to come in, and originally it was just standard Brawl, which is only the cards from pretty much the last 2 years at that time, and it was 60 card. And then eventually they did Historic Brawl, and once we got enough cards into the Historic pool, and they did this weird thing where everyone was like, oh, Historic Brawl is so much better than Standard Brawl. But Wizards prefers rotating formats because it requires you to keep rebuilding your decks over and over and over again. So they wanted to keep Standard Brawl. They finally brought in Historic Brawl, and now they finally changed the names on them. So now it's Brawl and Standard Brawl, which is a little weird. But the point is, originally Arena Ranked was designed to just be limited and standard, and they do really weird matchmaking in Brawl. And actually, we might look at this in a second here. In Ranked, right, it doesn't matter what deck I bring. I'm going up against other Platinums, and that's kind of how they do your Ranked. And there's some amount of, like, what deck you're bringing, like a very, very small amount is my understanding, or at least from my experience, it seems like there's some amount of that. But with Brawl, it's actually based on the commander you play and the cards you put in your deck. So if you wanted to play against low-powered commanders, you could just play a lower-powered commander and then fill your deck with really good stuff. Although we've recently discovered that the cards in your deck actually affect it. The point is, the matchmaking is not skill-based in Brawl, it is deck-based, and they do that because Commander, right? Brawl is trying to be Commander. And in Commander, it's kind of like self-governing. Like, you don't play mass land destruction because you will have no playgroup. But in 1v1 Brawl, there's no, like, self-government. So there's no incentive to not just, play the meanest deck in the world and just play Rusko and Kinnan and all of the best decks. So they kind of had to implement this weird matchmaking that's deck-based. That was a really long answer. But the point is, deck-based versus skill-based matchmaking, and the fact that Brawl, in the sense that we know it, Historic Brawl, was kind of like a reluctant ad at some point, and it wasn't necessarily like this big feature ad that they did. Because originally Brawl was meant to be a paper format that was rotating Commander because they were like, oh, we want Commander to rotate. Oh my gosh, this is just over. Okay, guys. That was rough. Sheoldred's just rough. Now, I would really love a ranked Brawl because I think Brawl is my favorite format, but on Arena. But there's no ranked, and, you are encouraged to play ranked. Where is it? You get the rewards, you get your styles or variants or whatever. I used to just care about getting to Platinum. That's kind of where I'm at now. Is like, I care about getting to Platinum, give me my 2 different card styles, and yeah, I don't even do... I do limited, but I've been saving my draft tokens and my gold and stuff for MH3 because if I was a player that was choosing... Well, I am a player. If I'm choosing to spend my resources on something and I like Timeless or Brawl as my main formats or even Historic, MH3 will be the most, in my opinion... the most cards you will actually play per pack. Like, there are a lot of cards in Thunder Junction that you're never going to play. But Modern Horizons 3, there are so many powerful cards that Brawl is going to get a really big power boost. Historic is going to get a power boost. Timeless is going to get a power boost. So I'm saving up draft tokens, saving up gold. I will be buying the weird timeless, no, what was it? Psychic Frog's Hidden Horizon or whatever they're calling it, which is like a second mastery pass that's running at the same time as the current one, but you get to pick what you buy, in case you guys haven't seen that. So I will be picking up that because I already have the gems, and Modern Horizons 3 is going to be a crazy set for Arena. The few Modern Horizons 2 cards that they have on Arena are huge in Brawl. They're huge in Timeless. Yeah. Also, one other thing I found weird, and I know I'm just like rambling, whatever, is the fact that they brought Khans of Tarkir. Like, Khans of Tarkir is the weirdest Arena set launch that I've seen in quite some time. You know, the precedent was, oh, we're going to do standard releases, and we might do like one paper non-standard release a year. And that was kind of our precedent. We had Baldur's Gate. We had Jumpstart. We had, you know, those kind of things. This year we had Lord of the Rings, or last year we had Lord of the Rings. This year we have Modern Horizons 3. And then occasionally they do these like remastered things. So they did like Amonkhet remastered and Kaladesh remastered and Shadows over Innistrad remastered, which were like combining 2 or 3 sets into one set that was a fun draft experience. And then all of a sudden they're like, we're just adding Khans of Tarkir. They're not going backwards in order, and they're not remastering. They're just adding the set. And at first I thought, oh, it's to add fetch lands, right? But then they have the same fetch lands as MH3, which just seemed so weird to me. Like, why? I don't know. It just seemed like a weird set to add. My bet is that they did Khans of Tarkir as a test for Morph, because Morph is a likely technically complex mechanic, and they had Disguise and Murder's Art Call of Mana as the next set. So it wouldn't shock me if it was actually just intended to be a like a test for that they could do a little bit earlier and make sure everything's gonna work. But at that point, they would need to know it works. So I actually have no idea. Maybe it's like one of those sets where they looked at it and they were like, well, since we are already implementing Disguise, there's no mechanical complexity to Khans of Tarkir. Like, I could see that, because in theory, once you have all the mechanics programmed, it's a lot easier to implement a set. I don't know. Khans of Tarkir was a really weird ad. And it wasn't like the block remaster. My guess is literally, thinking back on the mechanics of that set, what were they? They were Prowess, which was obviously already on Arena, Morph, Manifest? Was Manifest in there? What were the mechanics of Khans of Tarkir? Let me look this up while I... Khans of Tarkir mechanics. But it makes me think, like, are there any other, like, sets? Because their goal is to get back to Pioneer, right? Are there any other sets in between what we have on Arena and what's in Pioneer that are, like, super easy adds to Arena because of all the mechanics? I don't know if you guys have any ideas on it. All right, this is a 2-cost 2/2, but whatever. It's a free card. Oh my gosh, something's in my eye. Okay, it was Outlast, which I don't know if that was implemented on Arena, but it seems like a very easy mechanic. Prowess, Delve, Raid, Ferocious, Morph. Yeah, those were all on Arena, and except Morph, which was done via Disguise almost certainly. So that'd be my guess. And I'm wondering if there's mechanics from other sets that are more technically challenging. I don't know. Seems weird. Maybe we'll get more. Are there any sets you guys would want to see on Arena? Just like port it over. I think Arena's really great for older sets for like draft experiences. It's kind of hard to go draft. Not hard, but you're not necessarily going to find someone who wants to draft everything. Wait, what is this thing? This thing's a 13/13 that gets -X versus your life total. So if I take damage, this thing gets bigger. Yeah, let's dash out Rag again. Okay, we need to do this. Oh, this isn't gonna work. I messed up. Do they know I messed up? Okay, it's fine. They won't know that I messed up because he takes damage. This gets bigger. It's fine. I knew that. Yeah, are there any other sets that people are looking for on Arena? I'm trying to think back. I kind of started around Kaladesh, so they kind of have when I started to now. I think Modern Horizons will it's not on its way to Pioneer, but Modern Horizons 1 would be fun. What just happened? Oh, that's so fun. Alrighty, guys. I think that's enough timeless for me. That was exhausting. And that did not go well. Oh my gosh. I was kind of grinding my way up to gold or up to plat, and then I guess I hit plat and just failed miserably. But yeah, I think we're going to skip MTGO this time, and I think you'll see why soon. I don't have a bunch of decks built yet, and I have some cool plans and some cool formats I want to do, and so stay tuned for that. Thank you to everyone who participated in my Twitter giveaway. On Twitter, I gave away 120 play points to 5 different people. Stay tuned. I should be doing another one of those next month. Early access stream is next Wednesday. Stay tuned on the channel or Instagram or Twitter or one of those for all those announcements. There's some other fun stuff coming up as well. And I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. Sorry for no MTGO. I'm now exhausted, and I don't think you guys want to see me exhausted, and MTGO takes a lot of brain power. So I promise you we'll do more MTGOs, more older formats, especially once Modern Horizons 3 comes out, where we'll be able to play with those in like Modern and Legacy and stuff. I will see you guys in the next one. Any feedback, also let me know in the comments of this VOD or on the stream chat right now if there's anything you'd want to see for future streams. And thank you, as always, to all of my channel members who make this channel possible and help support all of the content I make, but also thank you guys for just being here in general. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.